energy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Summer Game Fest, a showcase to celebrate what's new and next in video games. Now, every year, we have the distinct honor of coming together to spotlight the boundless creativity that defines our industry. Thank you all for joining us and giving us your time. And special thanks to Dante. I was reading my feed this morning and saw that he canceled by a passionate team of just 10.
All right, let's see what they say right here.
Including, yes, some brand new game announcements. Gotta have some of those. Now, before we dive into the excitement, let's take a moment to recognize just how dynamic our industry has become. Here's a look at the top 10 selling new games on Steam so far in 2025 by units, according to Game Discover Co. Lots of great games. Now, the list includes beloved franchises, but sitting proudly at #1 with over 13 million units sold since February is Repo, a groundbreaking indie game crafted by a passionate team of just 10 people at Semiwork in Uppsala, Sweden. And closely trailing it is Schedule 1 from TVGS, a solo developer in Australia. It's inspiring that these indie creations stand side by side with heavyweights like Monster Hunter Wilds and the Oblivion remake. Absolutely. Now let's also applaud Claire Obscure from Sandfall. Okay. They might get some nominations at the end of the year. We're not there yet, but it is a monumental achievement, earning the highest user Metacritic score ever recorded for a game, all from a team of under 30 developers who bravely stepped away from big publishers to forge their own path. One thing is clear. With digital distribution and engines like Unreal, today's most innovative projects increasingly emerge from outside the traditional publisher system. And that's something to celebrate. But with more than 18,000 games released on Steam just last year, more than double from 2020, the challenge now is discovery. And that's precisely why events like Summer Game Fest, our partner showcases happening all weekend long, and initiatives like the Steam Next Fest are so essential. These events help remarkable games, big and small, find their audiences. And hopefully, if you're watching this show, you'll discover your next favorite game. So, in that spirit, let's kick things off with a game from an independent studio who is thinking very big. In 2017, 4 developers broke away from AAA publishers to chart their own course. Today, they're a thriving independent studio of 30 creators. And what you're about to see is a powerful testament to what passion, freedom, and a small, dedicated team can achieve. Let's take a look at our first new game announcement.
You think you're the Harbinger. You might be.
Think to your nature. You're a weapon, child.
This looks fire so far.
They'll worship you until you fail. In what?
better sign up. Hold on.
All right, didn't that look great? Well, we got lots more to come. But right now, the end, the Nexus War, Galactus Fight, or even live at Risky Reels. Over the years, Fortnite has innovated with mass-scale live in-game events. And tomorrow, Fortnite is set to do it again across console, PC, and phones. The Death Star's super laser is charged and ready to decimate the Battle Royale island. But there's still hope. You and your friends can join the fight. Here's the first exclusive look at what you'll be part of tomorrow in the brand new live event, Death Star Sabotage. It is an honor to welcome to Summer Game Fest a legendary game creator who is set to release his latest project in just a few short weeks. With each of his games, he pushes the gaming medium in bold new directions, and we are honored to have him with us for the first time at Summer Game Fest in person. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming the great Mr. Hideo Kojima.
Death Stranding 2.
Aki, great to see you. Mr. Kojima, here we are. The world tour begins at Summer Game Fest. It's great to have you here. We are so excited for DS2. So let me ask you, Mr. Kojima, you've worked for many years on this project. What do you hope players take away from DS2 when they play it later this month?
DS1 が出た後にコロナになったの
Well,
で、
we hit the pandemic after
まあ
we released
僕ら皆さ
DS1.
ん、コロナを体験したと思うの
Everyone
で、
experienced
コ
the
ロナを体
pandemic.
験した中での
So,
新しいつながりというか、
I wanted to
それをも
show
う一度ゲー
something
ムをプレイし
new
ながら、
connection
考えていただきたいと
after
思い
we
ます
faced the pandemic. So I want everyone you to think about that when you play this game.
Okay, well, talking about playing the game, it's coming out later this month, but right now I know you prepared a special exclusive clip for SGF. Let's take a look at this.
はい、
Welcome. Have a seat. Over here, please. No smoking, please.
Right.
So you are Neil Varner. What do you do? For living?
I'm a porter.
So thank you. We're good for the day.
Okay. Thanks.
Neil.
What?
So you made it then.
Sorry.
You really don't remember me.
The girl. You're alive. Stop! 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 Stop!
So much mystery. Well, that was a clip from the game, a cutscene. We saw a first glimpse of Neil and Lucy, and we met them in the trailer back at South by Southwest, but we got a little bit more of them here. Tell us a little bit more about this clip and the characters of Neil and Lucy.
DS2 で非常に重要なキ
In
ャラクター
DS2,
です。
it's a very important character,
ニールとルーシ
Neil
ー。
and
で、
Lucy.
まあちょっと詳しくは言えませんけど、
I can't really say because there'll be spoilers.
手にカニ座の刻印が
You
2人ある
saw the cancer mark on both of their
すごい
hands
深いつながりがあって、
So they have
これが
this
物語に
deep
大き
connection
く関わってきます。
and
で
reveals
前回
throughout the
ク
story.
リフっていう人気キャラクターがい
And
ま
last
したけ
time
ど
on DS1, we have Cliff,
で
who was
物
played
語
by
的には
Max.
彼はもういなくな
And
った
of
の
course,
で、
by story, you
まあ
know,
2では出せ
he
ない
will not be in
で今回
DS2.
ニールっていうのが
But this
マットさん
time,
の代わりというか
Neil
その
will
同
be
じような
like
役割を担って
playing like the role that
登場
Max
します
did for DS2
で
this
まあ、クリ
time.
フすごい人気あったので、
And Cliff was a very
まあ
popular
クリフを超えるようなキャラクターを作ろうとして、まあ、ルカさん
We
に
have
お
to
願い
kind
し
of
て
like top that
結構いいキャ
character.
ラクター
So Luca
だったと
Marinetti was a great
非
actor,
常に
and I
心に
think
残る演技もして
it
い
was
ただ
great.
いて
He did a great performance, so I think you'll like this new character,
も
Neil,
う
too.
20日後にゲーム出るんで、
Well, the game's going to be out in 20 days, so I'm not going to give any spoilers, you know. That's
I know.
what I brought today.
But there is more to share, and you
so
won't
it
have
looks
to wait
like I don't
very
have to play
long
number
to learn more about the game. Actually, this Sunday, as part of Summer Game Fest, you tune into the DS2 live game premiere, where Hideo will be joined by many members of the cast. He'll be sharing a new demo of the game, live gameplay demo, alongside Elle Fanning and Troy Baker, and I'll be there hosting it. And let's just say this is not the last that you've seen of Neil this weekend, and we'll leave it at that.
ニールのゲームプレイシーンっていうのを
Yes,
出し
I'll
ます
show you
ので
the gameplay scene of
見に
Neil.
来てください。
So hope you enjoy. Will join us Sunday too.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much. Hideo Kojima, everyone. Great to see you, Mr. Kojima. Thank you. All right. And now I'd like to introduce my co-host for Summer Game Fest. She's along for the party. A veteran games
Scale battles, as narrated by actor Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Thou shalt not kill. So the priests tell us. So the Lord commands. But ambitious men do not listen. I sought no war. But war found me. I became like them. I took up the sword, prayed I could win redemption through my deeds. But some paths, once taken, have only one ending. I shall find no peace. On this road, there is only death.
That. Stomp him out.
But that's just my story. Go write your own.
This be cool.
That was a very cool new project in a brutal European medieval world. Now it's time to hang on to the edge of tomorrow. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is a thrilling new entry in the legacy of racing action games within the Sonic.
Got the egg. Yeah, okay. That's good.
Takashi Iizuka.
It eclipses time.
first I thought Dante.
For some,
What the heck?
it heals. For others, it wounds. And for our world, it promises only oblivion. Our hopes lost long ago. But you have the power to change all of this. If time were a weapon to wield, could you undo the sins of ruin? In this time, or maybe the next, you'll find how to save us all.
I like the visual still. This might be a top. Hey. Cold Vein 2, huh? That's all I gotta play number 1. What the heck? Not you shooting and they split into 2. So maybe.
That was a very moody, cool new game. That was End of Abyss, the debut title from Malmo, Sweden-based Section 9 Interactive, an atmospheric action-adventure game coming in 2026 to the Epic Games Store and consoles. Next, we'll step into the black and white world of rubber hose animation with Mouse P.I. for Hire, developed by first-time developer Fumi Games and published by PlaySide, releasing later this year. Here's a quick new look at the game and the reveal of a familiar voice.
There's something rotten at the heart of Mouseburg.
Crooks beware. Detective Pepper's in the house.
There are those who would bend the city to their will.
Dumb wise guys and fake cheese wheels.
And those who do anything to save it.
They won't even know what hit them. Oh boy.
That's what's
Here we go.
Another role for Troy Baker. All right, that's not all from PlaySide. Now comes the announcement of another ambitious project from this independent Australian developer. We've been talking to them for a while about this project, which builds on their recent launches of Kill Knight and Age of Darkness. But this takes things to a whole new level. It's a premium, real-time strategy game built for PC based on one of the most iconic fantasy franchises in the world. Any guesses? Let's take a look.
may think you know how the game is played. But this is not the game you know.
That's what made our glasses on.
This is your legacy.
Deal.
You decide who wins and who dies.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't get the stab off.
Game of Thrones. War for Westeros.
Interesting.
All right, now it is time for the global reveal of an FPS action adventure RPG.
The great Silkovsky once said, one could count 1,000,000 billion suns in the known universe. So why do we deny other intelligent beings? It is said, if they were out there, they would have visited Earth. My answer is, maybe they will visit us. But time has not come yet for this. The dawn of a new era.
Not a bullet.
The era of atomic
Mistake.
heart. 2.
We'll check out more.
That's right. Atomic Heart 2 is in active development at Mundfish on Unreal Engine 5, a spiritual successor to the first game with a retro-futuristic world on a global scale. And this time there's a greater emphasis on RPG elements and player freedom. But that, believe it or not, is not all from Mundfish today.
Is it recording? Yeah, it is.
It's in the sky, a giant cube.
Not that.
I can still barely believe it myself.
Rubik's Cube.
When it showed up, I was in the lab. I didn't even see it. You know, I felt that same fear, though. A terrible sense of my own powerlessness. How did the whole of humanity miss it? And did we actually miss it? What if the cube didn't appear, but revealed itself? What if it was always there, and we've only just started to see it?
Yeah, this is the same game, I think. Maybe not. Not the heck. This is
Cute
about.
little guy. The Cube is yet another new project from Munfish, an MMORPG shooter set in the Atomic Universe on a massive levitating cube. You can see there where the edges are constantly rotating to create unique gameplay combinations that are ever evolving. All right, let's jump into the
Okay,
Marvel
MMORPG,
Cosmic
that seemed cool.
Invasion universe. The new retro beat 'em up coming to PC and consoles this holiday with multiplayer fun for up to 4 players. You can pick between 15 Marvel characters to play, but so far, only 7 have been revealed. Well, now it's time to meet the next 2.
Marvel games going weird. I always like love seeing the old, but yeah.
This isn't hell or my world. What is this place? Also, you don't have a chance.
What the?
Not enough. I need more. Pick your battle, piggy.
Musashi! We both want the same thing, Musashi. But there's only room for one at the top. And it won't be a coward who runs for the jewels. Words never did work between us, did they?
Sasahiganya.
Okay. Some time.
That was a new look at Onimusha Way of the Sword, which we announced back in December at the TGAs. It is coming in 2026 and will be playable this summer at Gamescom. Now let's completely switch gears. You guys all know I love my puppets, and this next project is one I've been tracking for a few years, as a team at Sans String Studios is using Unreal Engine 5 to create an insane digital puppeteering pipeline. It's actually a thing. What you're about to see is running completely in real time in Unreal, and I cannot wait to play it. Here is an unexpected new game announcement that combines comedic storytelling and arcade fighting action. Check this out.
be the tournament of a million punches, you'll get yourself killed!
All right, you little sack of fuzzy shit. Show me what you got. What? If you're gonna be champ, we gotta transform you. Why are you even here? Don't waste my time.
Save us, Fuzzy, or we'll die!
Attaboy. Attaboy. Eat bread, crap, burnt toast, carb load. This mate ain't gonna be himself. I've been taking dumps in there all day. Jab.
Seemed like a fun, interesting concept.
Super fun. Got to wish list that, right? All right, well, next it's time to see the announcement of a brand new game. In Deception, we trust.
An ancient white castle deep in the mountains, lost to time and legend. Only the chosen find their way here. Gathered from every corner of the earth, divided yet bound. Wolves and lambs. Engaged in a perilous dance of wits, a game where truth is but a shadow. Enough theatrics. I'll get to the point. Killer Inn is a murder mystery action game. The killers lurk elusively in plain sight. Kill someone and a clue will remain. Hair, fingerprints, blood, clothes. The lambs scramble to find clues, one step closer to unmasking the culprits. Who is guilty will eventually come to light. Wolves win by killing every lamb. Lambs win by booting out every wolf. Such simple rules. But there's so much more to this game of murderous mystery. Complete quests to level up. Buy items with the gold you earn. Loot chests for weapons and armor. Steal items, blow up opponents, poison others, place traps. Discover one of your own is a wolf. Is killing not to your taste? Then you'd better escape the castle. Now the paths to victory are clear. You would do well to remember, deceit and deduction are your strongest weapons in this game of life or death. Your invitation awaits.
That's just it. Killer Inn? Okay.
That was Killer Inn, a 24-player multiplayer game from Square Enix where you compete in a game of life or death using social deduction skills to win. All right, it's hard to believe this next game was first announced at TGA in 2021. And though it's been a while, their recent tech tests prove that some things are definitely worth the wait. I'm of course talking about Arc Raiders. This is one of the most anticipated games of the year, and we're excited to share a new trailer which will tell you more about the mysteries surrounding the world of Speranza and the long-awaited launch date coming later this year. From Embark Studios, here's the world premiere of the release date trailer for Arc Raiders.
Breathe. Let your body settle into a slower rhythm. Clear your mind of all distractions. You don't have to walk this path alone. Surround yourself with resourceful friends. Here, you are in control.
Was this supposed to be a single player? It look cool if it is.
That's right, everyone. Arc Raiders is coming October 30th, 2025 for PC and console. Congrats to Embark Studios. All right, Dune fans, now you can finally step onto the world of Arrakis yourself. Dune Awakening combines the survival and MMO genres with a thrilling cinematic story. It arrives on PC in just a few days on June 10th, but you can play it right now in Steam Advanced Access. Here is a brand new look.
Fall to ash.
Oh, yeah, it did say MMO, huh? That's it.
Consumed by the void. Try as I might to quell their advance. 'Twas all for naught. Some say time stops for no one. Neither man nor God, living nor dead. But what then of those who deigned to turn back the hands of fate? To save what remains of our broken worlds. You need only take my hand. Return to the past, where your journey awaits.
Ooh, I get it. Crown on everything.
Every hero's tale begins with.
Wait, this another what's her name? Alright, come back to that. It looks like it's another MMO.
Trial. But the true lead of this story has yet to emerge. Whatever's coming next will not be easy.
I will never forget my cause.
What is more compelling to you, sir?
Just as he once came to me.
Oh, this is what
dark tunnels light.
or something like that.
What happened while I was out? So I hear you're looking for someone?
A rat.
Let me make sure.
Worship strength and crave glory. I never doubted that you'd end up here.
I'm merely curious. What ending have you penned for Septiment this time?
Alright.
A rat in the vessel. Such a tiny nuisance. I know all your secrets.
This a maybe. It's fast or
Don't come back.
That's Mio Memories in Orbit, a stunning new Metroidvania platformer that has a demo on Steam you can play right now as part of Next Fest. What you're about to see next is a stop-motion co-op platformer where everything has been crafted by hand. It's called Out of Words, and I'm honored to show it to you today.
oh yeah, there's another maybe. I kinda seen some stuff. So alright.
What a really unique and different game. This August signals the release of Mafia: The Old Country, the next entry in the acclaimed Mafia franchise from the team at Hangar 13. It's a gritty mob story set in the brutal underworld of 19...
Same thing, Mafia.
Just like Split Fiction, here's the first ever look.
They're cool on the Lego stuff.
Smarts and some with serious attitude. Nickelodeon has always been about.
Wait, how exactly is this?
A brave and wise and powerful and ridiculously handsome wizard would call upon his magic powers to summon the most ferocious, most awesome, most totally radical team of adventurers the land had ever seen. They alone would be able to... Imagination! Go big, go burn!
Oh yeah, I'm like cool on that. Alright.
and Lies of P. Overture is a DLC expansion to Lies.
I am the DLC. Yeah, I'll probably go back to that game. All right, I'll go to that game.
Yes, that's right. Overture is available today.
Oh yeah, this is okay.
I wouldn't recommend eating those tomatoes. All right, NCSoft is expanding its Blade and Soul universe. Let's take a look at the rich lore and dynamic action in Blade and Soul Neo, just out on Steam, and Blade and Soul Heroes coming soon.
Oh yeah. One Punch Man. Wait, is this part of the same thing now? Alright. Yeah, collaboration. This game. This may be for me.
.6 is available today. This is a technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4.
Human Creator is now fully integrated into Unreal Engine.
You're seeing me live in real time.
Squid Game will be coming to UEFN. It started with an epic mega grant, and it's now a serious contender for Game of the Year.
That Mongilsta Dive will be exclusively on the Epic Game Store.
We find a way. We altered the course of nature.
Dinosaur.
Unleashed.
Jurassic Park.
Hi, I'm Celia from Yacht Club Games.
And this is okay. Deadpool stuff. What's this one?
More. Let's take a look at the latest trailer with some big news, the release date.
Yeah, this looked like it was a
Can you tell me about the
and I saw it. And I don't like the Beast. Let me see.
There's the big news. Dying Light the Beast is coming on August 22nd, Gamescom week. All right. This next game draws inspiration from classic coming-of-age films to capture the highs and lows of adolescence, the bonds of friendship, and the nostalgia of growing up. Mixtape comes from Beethoven and Dinosaur, an Annapurna Interactive, and this is your exclusive new look at this game that plays like a love letter to teenage memories.
What are we doing?
I watch this. I guess.
Hanging out, getting buzzed. I've got to get out of this place.
At the end of an era, when everything's about to change, it's time to look back on your greatest hits.
Mom, who is it?
One moment. It's the pigs, darling. Shit.
This year, experience a retrospective like no other. Beethoven and Dinosaur invites you to relive the teenage riot, to spend one last night together before school's out forever. And with a soundtrack this good, it's gonna be one hell of a night. And The Cure. I love The Cure. Experience it for yourself. Mixtape. Nothing but the hits.
I trust you have seen it. A beautiful world where harmony reigns. Will you struggle until your last fleeting moment? Your destinies are sealed. There is no escaping them.
That is why we must end you. Right here and now.
On your guard.
This is gorgeous. Take this. And just getting started. Let's put it into action.
The surge of power.
It's amazing.
Savor each moment.
A beautiful game. That was the global announcement of Toa, a new roguelike from Bandai Namco and developer Brownies, a game drawing from classic Japanese art with a whimsical spin on Eastern mysticism. Next, we want to introduce you to a game made by a first-time solo developer in Bandung, Indonesia. With the help of 9 of his friends, he's built an intense action beat-em-up with brutal hand-to-hand combat set in his hometown. This is Axe of Blood.
They left me with nothing.
This looked like this was the new seafood.
Just names on the wall. The hunt isn't over. Not until I kill them all.
That's crazy. Yeah, now I just move it.
Bad dot line.
Amazing what these solo devs can do today. Now it is time for the reveal of the next game from Montreal-based Tribute Games, the makers of TMNT Shredder's Revenge and Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which you saw a little bit earlier. If you're like me, you've been waiting for more than a decade for this reveal.
We're just gonna ask for reacts. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be something I'm interested in.
Scott Pilgrim creator Brian Lee.
Cool, Scott Pilgrim.
Wisely.
Since the dawn of time, humankind has been obsessed with the hard. Now, a glorious morning has dawned. Something that's simply harder. Scum.
Oh yeah, I think I saw this and I was like, this might be interesting. I need to delete that part.
Your hard just got harder.
What are you doing here?
Come with me.
At first, I thought it was just broken synapses in my head. Keep your lights feet on. I haven't had company in years. I've been seeing things. Like a part of me that's been buried down deep feels like it's just knocking to get out. I've been seeing you run, Charlie. Maybe this is the real.
Diaz, you were a good soldier.
Cinematics for this look good. It was just like the gameplay. I was just like, I don't know.
Hi everyone, I'm Hakan Abrak. See you.
Yeah, but then I think he did something for James Bond, which was cool. Or did collaboration with James Bond, 007.
Saturday night.
Are we almost done? Alright, what is that about?
Whoa, that is looking mighty tasty.
All right, next, a new look at a new team shooter from Dreamhaven and Moonshot Games. 20 players across 5 ships venture into the most treacherous region of space, hoping to get their hands on the artifact. The game is called Wildgate, and the open beta starts next week during Steam Next Fest. And we're also very happy to announce the game will launch on July 24th for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. Let's see what it means to get into some serious space shenanigans.
Danger. Reactor overload. It's got the artifact. Laser round installed.
This feels bad.
Now their ship is flying. Is that the artifact?
Safe with me.
This'll be good.
Good thing that wasn't our ship.
I'm proud to reveal to you the next game from Toronto-based Drinkbox Studios, the team behind the Guacamelee series and Nobody Saves the World. They're making a full 3D game that can be played alone or with a friend in co-op. You can find out more during Day of the Devs right after the show, but for now, here is the global reveal of Blighted.
Looking over this decaying world, one can only wonder, how did it all come to this? It began with the ancient rituals, the dead buried with a seed from the trees of memory. Those who ate of the fruit saw the lives they lived and passed their knowledge to future generations until Sorcisto, in his lust for power, consumed the brains of the living, spreading this blight. You harbor it too, I see.
That's a maybe. That's a cool though.
Should you fall, pray the vultures consume you before the blight does.
There is more Blighted coming up right after the show in Day of the Devs. All right, next is a first-person survival action horror game from Team Clout. It's a new team of 50 with founders in Canada and Armenia. They partnered with the new Munfish Powerhouse label to bring this insane Unreal Engine 5 game to life with unpredictable monsters and visceral dismemberment. Here is your first look.
Hey, Munfish, that's 3 games. Oof. I ain't picking up weapons. It's like a dead space that just has normal looking humans. What the?
are little babies. All right, Mecha Break is one of 2025's most anticipated shooters, with its previous beta amassing over 300,000 concurrent players on Steam and 3 million players in total. In this game, you explore a sci-fi universe and pilot powerful mechs with immersive aerial and ground combat. As a top wish-listed game, players are clamoring to know just one thing: when is the release date? Well, here's Mecha Break's latest trailer with the answer you've all been waiting for.
Growing Martian zones force the Thalassic Federation to advance its Project Enterprise.
That's cool.
In this next title, small-scale players traverse the oversized world around them, filled with local wildlife and hostile machines. Built by a small 8-person studio, this is Infinitesimals.
Mechanicals approaching.
We must now face a stark reality. The industrial civilization we were expecting to join is no more.
Whatever it takes, we find a way.
Okay, I was wondering when they showed it earlier. They kind of gave it away, but
2026 marks the 30th anniversary of a legendary video game franchise that I think we all know very well. Please check this out.
Happy birthday.
Everybody knows when they see RSD.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And to celebrate early, a special message from Takeuchi-san.
マギーさんありがとうございます。カプコン竹内です。皆様のおかげでバイオハザードも30周年を迎えることができました。 ありがとうございます。さて、お待たせしているバイオハザードの最新作なんですが、もう少しだけ、あと瞬きするぐらいの間だけお待ちいただければと思います。それでは、これからもバイオハザードシリーズよろしくお願いいたします。ありがとうございました。
I need a glass of wine too. All right. Thank you, Takeuchi-san, for that very special message. We cannot wait for when the time is right to share more leading into the anniversary of Resident Evil. Now it is time for the next big update for a beloved franchise.
This is cool.
Let's rumble. Alex. Ingrid.
Sagat.
Street Fighter 6. Flag time, baby. Julius Ring! Get him, y'all. Alejandro! Camila Barbosa! Peter Sagan! Countdown begins.
Adios!
Like, hey, Arnold Granny.
Wish list now.
Sounds like a cool multiplayer game. Let's get into this.
That was Last Flag, a new online action game from the new indie studio Night Street Games, which is the ultimate game of capture the flag set in the 1970s. As you saw, the closed alpha will be starting later this year. Next, we have a beautiful new trailer for a Souls-like action RPG game developed in China by Lenzi Wuchang Fallen Feathers, which is launching on July 24th. Here's a look.
They had a nerve to say this was gameplay.
Is this bloodshed really what you wanted?
I'm gonna watch it again. I don't think this was gameplay, really.
Fate is all set in stone. You can't change how it ends.
I don't what I felt about this. Like, still look beautiful and good. I don't know what I thought about when I first saw this.
What will it take to finally awaken you?
I guess I was thinking of seeing the UI and stuff like that at HUD. That's what it is.
Gotta rescue one. This is what we gotta protect. We cannot choose when people's dreams get snatched up out here.
Inspector that. Find Rizzo. Find Master Kill. Find Jill. Find Method. Find Rico. You find Kappa. Find Ghostface Killer.
Where is the Wu-Tang Clan?
Find them.
Okay, that's what's up.
Ghostface Killer is calling on you to rescue his Wu brothers. Wu-Tang Rise of the Receiver is a new co-op action RPG with anime-style fighting, and it's the debut title from the 53-member Grass Lion Entertainment. Now, here's a new look at Guild Wars 2, which has new updates, including player housing, and is free to play.
You never even guess what happened. I took a bullet, I died, I came back. Here we go. And I met Johnny Silverhand. Chip. Long story.
Switch 2 should be able to handle that to a degree.
Here is another game throwing back to a classic animation style. Enter a surreal world where you're a down-on-his-luck outcast who has to battle his inner demons, literally, in this action roguelike. Here's Into the Unwell.
That's crazy.
Another relapse, huh? Get well soon.
maybe it's too much for someone like you.
It's a maybe.
Delusional. It won't always be so easy. You still look a little unwell.
Hey guys, I'm Ian Prue, the co-founder of 1047 Games. When we started Splitgate in our dorm room, we just wanted to make a game we could play with our friends, and 20 million of you played with us. Now, with the help from our amazing community, we've built Splitgate 2. Why? Because I grew up playing Halo, and I'm tired of playing the same Call of Duty every year. And
The VR kind of seemed cool.
Last man standing. Victory. This is Splitgate.
Now we are honored to showcase the latest project from the talented minds at RGG Studio in Japan.
Got a name? Mako Daito.
Daito. A Jap then, huh?
Don't I look like one?
You're not? So, what are you then?
Sana. 俺が知りてえや。
I like a cop.
You saw it at TGA last year as Project Century set in 1915, and now the full name has been revealed. Stranger Than Heaven, the brand new title from RGG Studio. This time it's now 1943, and knowing RGG, I'm sure more surprises are surely on their way. All right, well, we're almost done here, but we do have one final, very special global game announcement to share with all of you who've been waiting. Today, we've showcased a lot of projects from teams around the world, including many brand new studios, and we're proud of that. But this one comes from a studio that is no stranger to delivering blockbuster games time and again. When I first got a glimpse at this project last summer, I was absolutely blown away by the scale, scope, and ambition of this developer's vision. And while there are many places, really any place, this game could have been revealed, we are so deeply honored that we get to share it with the world right here at Summer Game Fest.
Grace. Grace. Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
My office.
Coming.
Oh, the office in the West. Slide down.
If this is about the report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days, tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body. One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating. Now, I need a good technical analyst on this.
Okay.
I need your eyes on the crime scene. The Renwood Hotel. I know that's where your mother was murdered. Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past. Grace.
Crazy.
What is this?
Hey!
Stay close. They're coming.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
I don't hear about this on RP. That'd be my first Resident Evil title.
There you have it, Resident Evil Requiem. And it will be playable to fans this August at Gamescom, where we'll also be hosting Opening Night Live on Tuesday, August 19th. Resident Evil Requiem marks a bold shift for the franchise, both in tone and gameplay, and today's reveal isn't just about survival horror. Expect high-stakes cinematic action too, with much more to share soon leading up to its launch on February 27th, 2026. Amazing. Thank you, Capcom. That was an amazing announcement. Glad we kept it a surprise. All right, that's going to do it for our live Summer Game Fest show. Let's thank our co-host, Lucy James. Didn't she do a great job, everyone?
All right, so that's that. And then, let's go see. This one.
People.
in our Daryl language. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to anyone present. So our welcome to country is to ensure everyone feels welcome to the land and that they understand the traditional knowledge of the country that they're on. Our land is a Daryl land, and we believe that our ancestors are always with us, as we are spiritual people, and we believe our ancestors are always with us. So may their spirit be with you, keep you safe on your journeys wherever they may take you now and into the future. As saltwater people, the ocean is part of our life and our well-being. Wujui, Nanawabi, thank you, have a great day.
On behalf of the entire Frosty team, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the beautiful lands upon which we live and work, the Darawal and Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people, and pay respects to elders past, present, and emerging. We also extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people tuning in.
Kia ora everyone, I am thrilled to welcome you to Frosty Games Fest, a digital showcase of games made in Australia and Aotearoa, New Zealand. We are so excited to share our very first showcase with you today, containing announcements, reveals, and updates from more than 50 titles. And it wouldn't be possible without the incredible support of our mates at Screen Australia. As you watch the showcase today, you'll see two icons pop up, letting you know there's a demo you can play on Steam, and to indicate all the exciting Frosty Scoop Premiere announcements and first looks we have for you today. Lastly, remember you can find a complete list of every game we featured today over on FrostyGamesFest.com after the show. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Matt. And I'm Lily, and we are making a game called My Arms Are Longer Now. It's a 2D comedy game about a very long arm that does heists, or more specifically, your very long arm that does heists.
For a while now, we have been teasing arm customization.
Okay, I'm okay on that one.
Indie games. And my goal is to try and break every game I touch. So, devs, watch out. You can find me on TikTok every night, live streaming or making videos, as well as Twitch and YouTube, all under the name Walkerman. Now, strap in for the reveal of a major update coming to a beloved physics-based sandbox game, where you'll build and pilot the most ingenuous and improbable vehicles to transport cargo around the surface of Mars.
Mars First Logistics is...
Alright, cool on that one.
Kia ora gamers! My name is Lisa, cool Lisa Torquinglet. I am a co-director working on Tortola Skycorp. I'm just one of the team members. There's 7 of us. Let me tell you something. If you like birds, if you like flying, if you like the ocean, which you should, then you're in for a treat. Please enjoy, thank you, bye.
It's okay. That's a maybe.
Hi Frosty fans, I'm Kate. I'm a Twitch streamer, variety game player. If you like puzzles, weird tangents and rants and coffee, you're probably gonna like my stream. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kate, which is Kate with 5 A's. I'm excited to introduce the next game, which is a world premiere for Frosty Games Fest. Follow the story of a skeleton who's been separated from his coffin and is missing his memory. Will you help him unlock clues about his past and find his way home?
I think I passed on that.
Next up, we have an exciting announcement. This next title is a match 3 romance dating sim, where you date monsters, die, be reborn, fight, and maybe even just find true love along the way, with the 1.0 release going live today alongside Frosty Games Fest.
Arise, my champion.
World, though it is much prettier than that might sound. But I will let you see it for yourselves. Here is Null Star Solace.
Okay, cool on that.
You'll be hooked on this cozy idle fishing game packed with stunning pixel vistas, furry companions, and legendary catches. We're bringing you an all-new look at one of 14 serene fishing spots set to appear in Cast and Chill.
Hi, I'm Lyra. I'm the creative director of Canvas Street. We're still very early.
Peace, gained through remote working during lockdown.
That's cool.
Incredibly
Seems like
strange,
that.
or made out of spite for big corpo dogs. Woof! Now, at this point in the show, I've been asked to stress that the games you're seeing today are in no way affiliated with, endorsed by, or representative of actual Australian public figures or brands. Anyway, completely unrelated, here's a world premiere reveal of a game about a sentient shopping trolley looking to overthrow an out-of-control supermarket duopoly. Think Schmoll's or Schmollworths, which are two supermarkets I just made up.
Dad, what's the meat in this kebab made with?
It's made with love, Carla. It's made with love.
Kia ora folks, I am No Hands NZ, and as the label on the tin says, I'm from New Zealand and I play video games.
I'm like, what am I sitting there watching?
Hey there, Sharky here, also known as Lonely Shark, and I'm defining cozy horror every week thanks to the abundance of indie horror games. Step into my office. Yes, the Janky Horror Machine is my office. Now, this next game is an atmospheric paranormal mystery that challenges you to question everything you see. Even in the dusty pages of a family album, twist the past through images, uncover a cursed mystery, and try not to get goosebumps by this brand new trailer.
Sounds like an interesting game.
Many of the games we're showcasing today are featured on Steam as part of our Frosty Games event. One of the best ways to show your support is to head over and give your favourite games a wish list. Next up, a very quick look at a handful of titles that have been recently released.
Because you are one of us, a refugee of the sea.
You should be cautious.
We aren't alone.
Your ship is filling with water. You should take our advice. Descend to our hideout.
Yes, pitting us against each other. And we should return you to the surface.
Oh yeah, this game is cool. The Into the Dead Our Darkest Days. This game was actually a good game. So far, it's been good. From what I've seen.
Get out there.
Interesting, Harrison.
Hi, Frosty Games Fest. My name is Littles, and I love creating a variety of content across the internet, from rather cursed TikToks to gaming related on both YouTube and Twitch. Next up is the world premiere of a strategy simulation game set in a dark dystopian world. Step into the shoes of a single mother and puppeteer of an apothecary and try to make ends meet in this once esteemed profession. Here's the first look and a special early access announcement.
1,000 years of alchemy run in your veins, apothecary. Hallowed geometry and the book's knowledge used to be enough. But this full future demands you. Adapt. It used to be a great honor to be an apothecary. Will you make it as the last
Not for me.
apothecary of City X?
He makes decisions best he can. Sometimes he needs a helping hand.
What the heck?
Helping guide, placing shapes to spread infection, strategize with your direction, collect cells to grow mutations, test our vessels in imitations. When our host is under threat, a virus does what it does best. Survival is our prime objective. Send the brain a new directive. Each turn deals a board of actions. Place your block shapes, cause reactions. Underneath, we're still the same. We feel the pain of others' shame, and sometimes we must learn to be the monster that's inside of me.
It's not a cool game. It's a J. Oh, why am I still here? I'm not going. You too tired for now. still working and going to school?
On Instagram at TrianaOC. Now I'm here in Melbourne, Australia's sporting capital, to bring you this next game for fans of love, betrayal, and community sports. This is a new look at a turn-based sports RPG set at an underdog rugby club in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Y'all can play rugby. That's crazy. That's all the rugby lovers. Yep. What about that? Ow.
I'm everywhere and nowhere, but I'm super proud to be here right now. Coming up next, it's a story-rich, character-driven RPG starring two...
I'm just checking out all the new games that's coming out. We got a decent amount to look forward to. Where is this from? Ooh, guess we watched this.
Space cuties, a combination of turn-based and bullet hell combat, mold enemies, eldritch horrors, and food puns. Yes, there's a game with all that and more, and a new demo is dropping right now alongside
These are
Frosty
more
Games
like,
Fest.
these games
Take a
that you've
look.
seen are like, more like indie games. So they're not going to, you know, have the most money put towards them. That are specializing in Australia, future game developers. Alright, we cool on that one. Cool on that one. Cool on that one. That's a maybe. Yeah, I might give it a try. Well, the Battle Royale I'll try. I don't know. I don't know if, I think they're still doing the regular, which is like, it's basically, they got like a new team kind of format. But we'll see, I don't know. Oops, sorry.
My heart running,
Yeah.
I am always down for it. You can find my gameplay on twitch.tv/trash. I'm mainly live on Twitch, but you can also find me on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram with the same username at tinyandtrash. And I hope to see you there. The next game finds you in VR exploring eerie liminal spaces and unraveling a haunting mystery where your camera sees what the eyes cannot. If you're brave enough, there is a demo releasing right now on Steam alongside the Frosty Games Fest.
Not for me.
As wax melts before the fire, so shall the wicked perish.
I like card games, but I want to see how the
Fans
enemies
of
attacking.
fast-paced arcade puzzles and sci-fi storylines, listen up. In our next game, you'll be rebuilding a run-down spaceship junkyard. You'll want to block out time in October for the early access release, and to top it off, there's a new Steam demo going live today.
Time to kick it into gear. Let's do this. Oh yeah.
Tetris with jump pieces? Yeah. Good luck with Tetris not trying to sue y'all.
For me. Bring it on. Jim reporting in. Ready for the podcast.
Come on, buddy. Time to get to work.
Jupiter Junkworks. Check us out on Steam and wishlist today.
Interesting. Cool for people who's into this kind of genre. Yeah, everybody makes.
Hi there, Frosty Games Fest. My name's Rudism. I'm a game developer by day, a Twitch ambassador by night, and I design, build, and use really weird, custom, one-of-a-kind controllers. It's great fun. And I've got a game here for you. It's from the studio that brought you Moving Out. This game pares all of its controls down to a single button. Experience pure video game zen while you flow through hundreds of handmade levels. Now, this game's coming to Steam really soon, but for now, there is a demo that has just dropped and is ready for you to play. But here's the trailer in the meantime. Check it out.
Alright, let's see. So a nice chill cozy game. This one right here? See, now this one looked interesting. Yeah. be wanting to play old school looking games, and at the same time, I don't.
Make sure you check out the variety of other excellent Summer Game Fest showcases happening this weekend. Who knows where you'll discover your next favourite game? Head to summergamefest.com for all the links. Now, here comes a quick selection of upcoming titles with recently released demos that we think you'll love.
I wouldn't mind this puzzle game. Yeah, shoot. Nobody played Assassin's Creed. Gotta watch this. It's just kind of crazy. And the Elden Ring, I don't know if I'm gonna play this one because I don't know. I think I just need to. I'm gonna have to watch the people play it to see exactly how it works. And then I could play it by myself, single player, thankfully. But it was made to be co-op. Okay. Pass that one up. Dracula could be cool, not sure. I like the art style of this one. This one.
We're at the tail end of the show
I saw
now,
that
but there's
one
still a
before.
surprise or two up our sleeves, so don't go anywhere just yet. Special thanks to Mina Shamali for creating the wonderful soundtrack you've heard throughout the showcase today. The show would not have sounded anywhere near as cool without your work. You can find Mina's Frosty soundtrack up on YouTube and Bandcamp. With Frosty Games Fest, our mission is to celebrate everything that makes the ANZ games industry so magical. We want to give a voice to the developers who are working at the edge of the world in a weird time zone and the opposite season to most of the world, and connect players across the globe with the fantastic games that they're making. We will never charge developers to be part of this event, and nor would we ever charge you to watch it. And that's why we're so enormously thankful to Screen Australia for believing in and funding Frosty Games Fest this year. Thanks again, mates. Lastly, a big thank you to Jeff Keighley and Summer Game Fest for featuring us as part of their official lineup, helping put more ANZ-made games in the global spotlight. And thanks to you for tuning in today. If you loved the showcase, then please sign up for the mailing list at frostygamesfest.com, where you can also find that handy list of every single game that we've featured today. A follow or a wish list means so much to your favourite developers, so please make time to check them out. But before you go, we've got just one last thing.
Hello, this is Mickey, the Ghoulish director. The clip you're about to witness comes from an alternate world where a calamitous event is taking place. There, a city not unlike your own is undergoing a metamorphosis.
No, I was saying, I felt like I saw it before.
Both physical and spiritual. The project is currently in a pre-alpha stage, and we are sharing it with you now for the first time. Thank you for watching. This call may be bugged.
Not this call may be bugged.
A million fractures of the soul, pieced together like a broken bone. Can that be another me? Can it be? Can it be?
Power sensor? Okay. That would seem interesting too. Alright, give me 1 second. Let's see. And you really went under? Of course, already bumped. Crazy. Yeah. I'll be right back. Oh, shoot. Well, it is what it is. I can do it this way. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Last video.
Guys, we are checking out the Expanse video game trailer from the Future Games Show. Huge surprise. I am a big fan of the Expanse as a license. This comes out of nowhere. I did not expect a video game. This is, you know, as if me getting a Superman video game that was secretly being developed. This is close to that because the Expanse, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't read the books, I highly recommend it. It's one of the most realistic kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, I haven't seen it though, but like my buddy Pete.
You son of a...
Pete says check it out. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You seen it?
Yes.
I don't know.
Pete, a pilot that we met, he flew us one time on a Virgin Airlines. He's a big fan of The Expanse and got me into it technically. Alex, what about you?
Oh, I love it. It's great.
All right, let's see what is the video game version from Owlcat Games.
Yeah, I like
What?
them. Rogue Trader, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I mean, there's some good RPGs there.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, well, we're already going. Frigate Gemini on a rescue mission, asteroid belt. Okay. Here we go. CGI trailer.
Zafar, pull up NavTech.
Just a sec.
Looks pretty much exactly from the show.
It's pretty high production value for them.
Yeah, the armor's
from the
looking
show?
good. No, Joe. At least I don't recognize these specific characters.
We've got big enough guns to make justice, all right?
Oh, Michael. To a man with a hammer, just about everything looks like a nail.
Aim for show.
He's the military guy. Joe, the reason why you put the masks on is because this is real space combat. Holy crap! Just
so you don't walk around in like those little.
Oh man, this is got the XZ coordinates. Oh my God! What? Okay, so they obviously just the movies. I want to see some gameplay up in here. Potential gameplay right here. But you put your mask on because like they're gonna penetrate through your hull. All those all those shots basically can come screaming through the hull, take your head off. So you're always gonna want oxygen. There's the boots. Yeah, magnetic boots. Featured a lot in the show. As you know, they go and fix the ship while they're in mid-battle, so you need the boots to walk on the ship while you're in battle.
Let's deal with those guys first.
Looks like maybe a first-person shooter.
That was pretty sweet. I like that.
Yeah, you can do fun stuff with tech.
They're on the roof.
Nice! You better be able to do this in the game. I can't tell. I think this is still video. You know, the cinematics.
They shut down the
I see some gameplay. Oh, she says she's not dead.
Look like a headshot.
Armor blocked it.
Oh, no, shoulder. Grenade!
Another one of those grenades. There you go, something different. Okay, I think this is just showing off all of the abilities that you're using in the game.
Shield guy.
Is this
drone
multiplayer?
guy.
Like, what are we doing? Nice. Okay, Joe, this is a little bit more advanced technology than in the show.
I was like, this is Expanse?
Yeah.
I've been missing out. What the hell?
There's actually a little bit of this stuff in there, but this is a little bit more elaborate as a video game.
Way
should
better than
be.
Picard. I can tell you that right now.
Yes, The Expanse is better than the Picard. So it looks like these are all original characters. Proto-molecule stuff.
Damn.
Oh, shit. Blue! It's friggin' blue! Fucking blue!
That's not good.
Uh-oh. So you don't want to touch that stuff because you will be consumed and into the hive mind. All right, that's a cool cinematic. I need gameplay. Ah, gameplay! Yes. Oh my God! Holy shit! I did not expect that elaborate of graphics from Owlcat Games. Voice acting. It's third person shooting. Third person shoot. Look at them! What the?
This thing is action packed.
Well, the RPG elements are always really good. Like, you want to talk to everyone in all the cities.
Ah, there's a hybrid right there. Osiris Reborn. Okay, well, that was
looked amazing.
That was a huge surprise. As an Expanse fan,
Let's see. I think he can show anything else, probably. Okay. So, now I gotta go watch the show.
All right.
What's up, guys? Your boy.
But yeah, so finna go sign up for some betas, all that good stuff. Be back tomorrow. And I'll be back on Neo. I'm gonna try to just get finished with that demo, because that's the limited time demo. And I think I got one more. Yeah, we got some decent stuff until which is gonna be like what, 4 days? Do this. I guess I actually gotta pin it. But this comes, oh no, not 4 days, so a whole week from now. A little less, 6 days. But I probably won't play this on June 13th because so much is coming out. But we eventually get to this. Matter of fact, let me see one last thing. And I'll do it actually live. Look at my baby girl, she won. I'm so proud of her. That's crazy. What am I trying to look up? Oh. Yeah, it's so weird. It was like nobody played this.
In this Assassin's Creed Shadow review, we'll be taking an in-depth look at the
Let's see.
In this Assassin's Creed Shadow review, we'll be taking an in-depth look at the latest installment of the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is set in Japan during the Sengoku period. As most of you know, the game has generated a lot of controversy over the past year due to its choice of protagonist, so there will be a lot of agenda-driven opinions cluttering the reviews of this game at launch. For our review, I want to say this will probably be one of the most controversial reviews we've ever done, because I won't shy away from criticism or praise, and I will be brutally honest about my feelings. This isn't a bashing review, nor one that simply praises the game, and our scoring system takes into account factors like game size and price point, so if you plan to skip right to the end without listening through, don't be surprised that other factors affect the final score. If you truly care about a nuanced opinion on whether Assassin's Creed Shadows is a game worth buying and want to get a good understanding of what you can expect from this title, sit back and listen all the way to the end so I can explain why Assassin's Creed Shadows is both the best and worst Assassin's Creed I've played in recent memory. Assassin's Creed Shadows takes its particular brand of historical fiction to Sengoku, Japan, which is a period of strife and war that extended over 150 years and completely reshaped. Assassin's Creed Shadows follows the open-world gameplay formula that took off with Origins and has been carefully refined and optimized with each installment. It offers a massive open-world playground packed with activities, multiple progression paths, outstanding vistas, and even cultural deep dives to help immerse you in the history of the land. In this sense, the gameplay is open-world Assassin's Creed at its very best. Japan feels massive and the world has depth, it feels populated, there are so many unique and interesting things to do. I was thrilled when the world opened up and I could finally explore all these amazing locales and discover their history, culture, and the smaller stories told within. Unfortunately, though, the double protagonist approach means that your stealth and warrior gameplay are divided into two characters, so you have to swap back and forth between them and adapt to the playstyle of each. There's almost no stealth or parkour with Yasuke, who can wield large weapons, bows, and medieval rifles. And there's no strength with Naoe, who can sneak about but will not have access to samurai activities like learning katas, participating in mounted archery, or moving large blocks to explore ancient tombs. Each character has its own skill tree, equipment, quests, and objectives, which feels a bit like these two people together make what would normally be one protagonist. Think Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. I generally dislike playing as Yasuke from a gameplay perspective, as I favor stealth in Assassin's Creed games, so I tried to pick Naoe as much as I could. Even with just half the character, I still feel like the gameplay delivers the experience we're all wanting, and the exploration felt rewarding and interesting, with small but meaningful side quests and really a variety of objectives and approaches. Where Ghost of Tsushima delivered in story and combat but didn't quite deliver with exploration activities, Assassin's Creed Shadows seems to do the exact opposite, with a much better approach to discovery, activities, and stealth. I feel the main appeal of the Assassin's Creed gameplay formula is its stealth mechanics, and the addition of new difficulty nuance to its stealth is incredibly welcome. You can tune it up to Expert for a really challenging sneaking experience, or put it on Easy and Cruise, both of them without affecting your actual combat experience. I am generally a stealth player, as I like the Shinobi style of play, and found it incredibly rewarding and fun, to the point sometimes I would raid random places for loot just because I knew it was nighttime, and it would go better as the shadows embraced me. Enemies can detect you based on sound, and the sound you make while you walk will change if you're on grass or snow, or if you open a door without crouching, or if you're not going prone, etc. The stealth implementation in this game is so much fun, I honestly can't think of a game that it's done better, or in a more detailed way. This is a slam dunk for Ubisoft. For those looking for combat focus, the game also has accessibility options that give you chain combos at the press of a button, but in general, it's still all about deflect and parry. Naoe uses a katana, a tanto, a kusarigama, and shinobi tools with effects like bleed, poison, and daze. Yasuke uses a long katana, a naginata polearm, a kanabo war club, a bow, and a teppo firearm. Each of these have their own skill trees, which you grow through by doing activities as either character and applying the points you have spent. Besides the skill trees for each character and weapon or style, there is some mild build crafting in the form of gear bonuses, swappable engravings, gear quality, and gear upgrades. Enemies can be dazed, poisoned, and afflicted by several effects, but it's all pretty lean when compared to the detailed gear options of Odyssey, and it's probably easy to ignore if you aren't playing on hard, but the variety itself is there, and it's likely somewhat above Valhalla, including tips on where to find what engravings so you can target the ones you want right away. In general, the combat has solid conceptualization with interesting movesets and effects. Some of the active skills trigger fancy blood splash effects on black and white ink-like visuals, which feel like a bit of an homage to the Japanese style of art that has inspired so much media. Despite any preferences that I have for stealth combat, Yasuke's samurai performance delivers a quite compelling, fluid, and engaging samurai power fantasy. I think most people that want to engage fully with the combat will thoroughly enjoy his head-on approach and stylish moves that are supported by ranged attacks with bow and teppo that feel quite good and even have haptic feedback. You should not go in expecting cinematic Ghost of Tsushima showdowns or Team Ninja's Rise of the Combat, but this is probably some of the best combat the series has delivered, and it does so with flair. Outside of combat, the gameplay loop is quite diverse and has an excellent mix of practicing your form, relaxing, collecting, and sneaking. Assassin's Creed Shadows gives you a hideout as the base of operations, which acts as the settlement did in Valhalla, but with more flexibility and options for a lot more cosmetic customization. You will also meet and gather allies for your hideout or league, and they will join you in combat if you slot them. These allies are interesting but often strange-fitting, with one particular one wearing such weird clothing and spouting such silly dialogue that he reminded me of a comedian in a Japanese Bangumi I used to watch. In general, I didn't care much for these side stories, and I ignored all romance options in the game, as the cringe of game romance as a 17-year-old girl was not for me. The hideout decorations, on the other hand, were a great choice and fun addition to the game. Many of the rewards you find out on the landscape or receive from quests are cosmetics for your hideout, which can be quite fun to deck out as you decide where the buildings will go and connect them for smooth transition between pavilions. From there, you will set off to the many provinces and uncover more and more content as you go. With a board full of objectives and investigation quests, extra weekly quests available from the Animus, and seasonal repeatable quests available from your Kakurega, there is an amazing amount of exploration to do. Uncovering the whole map can of course be very daunting, and the Ubisoft team seems to have taken to heart the many criticisms levied their way after their misguided diss at Elden Ring. The result is that guided mode is now not recommended and disables some trophies, the UI is very slimmed down and much more immersive when traversing, and the game gives you clues about where to find people and things, but you have to use scouts and your own discovery to actually locate them. There's also no more follow road, which for me is a negative, as I really like riding around looking at the landscapes from the previous game, as I didn't have to control where I was looking. Regardless, the core of exploration will either be select a quest and use your season-limited scouts to find the objective, or follow the clues yourself and inspect the locations visually with focus mode as you walk around to find what you want. Naoe is also the only one with eagle vision, so your main exploration will be done with her as she can see through walls and mark distant treasure that way. I really enjoyed navigating the hills and valleys of Japan and discovering towns and temples, collecting lost pages, meditating to ancient rhythms, finding unique and valuable works of art or tea sets, and filling up my inventory with ever more fanciful helms and armor for an endless loop of beautiful fashion designs. I felt like there was a discovery at every corner, and the world came to life with the many NPC villagers, bandits, samurai, and monks roaming about, complete with small flavored dialogues that you could listen into to get clues from where to head next. All in all, the gameplay offers exactly what I wanted in terms of content, depth, and breadth, with a minor annoyance of having to swap between characters for some objectives and missing out on the samurai or shinobi side the rest of the time. The design of Assassin's Creed Shadows is, like its predecessors, well-researched and beautiful. While this is obviously not the real Japan, and there could be many nitpicks about rice paddies, forests, temple costumes, location sizes, and distances, it is still without a doubt the most beautiful realization of a romanticized medieval Japan I have ever played. With 4 distinct seasons that affect not only gameplay mechanics, but entire flora, fauna, and villager behaviors, this is the closest a game gets to what it is like to visit these places in real life. There were, however, some weird or odd choices and some shortcuts or gamey elements, and I was particularly heartbroken to visit the Daibutsuken in Nara and find the game does not show the glorious Buddha statue enshrined there, but overall the world kept calling me back to explore, ride around, find out what was behind the next corner, and greet the next person. With beautiful visuals, the game also has decent performance. PS5 Pro does not support 60 FPS on quality mode, which is the recommended setting, but does on performance mode, where it plays very smoothly. I did most of my playtime on PS5, but I also spent many hours with the PC version. The game looks absolutely stunning on my PC, which is a Ryzen 7950 and a 4090, and it's running between 60 to 90 FPS on 1440p, with everything turned to ultra high and frame gen turned off. It's honestly amazing to see such a huge open world game with so many particle effects, complex NPC behaviors, and detailed tree and hair physics performing at this level of polish. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. The wind moves individual trees and branches based on their weight, the water and floor look amazing, and NPC hair strands flow with the wind. I did note that facial appearance was a bit rough in some places. Open world games like this don't really rank in replayability, but rather on the amount of content they give you. Assassin's Creed Shadows delivers very good value for money with a beautifully realized world packed full of so much content most people will never complete at all. It takes around 40 hours to complete the main story of the game, but you're looking at another 100 hours on top of that if you want to do every activity and objective. This isn't very surprising since I have 300 or so hours in Valhalla, but the quality of the content in those hours, in my opinion, is slightly superior in Shadows due to the more diverse activity offering in the base game. The side quests and side objectives are quite well done and built interestingly into the world and the real history of the places and people that were there, so you'll most likely enjoy discovering them thanks to the overall polish of the product. There is really a lot of map to explore and a lot of content to do, so if you enjoy getting lost in this world, the game could keep you entertained for months or years, depending on how much time you can put in each week. It's also the kind of game that allows for bite-sized gameplay sessions, as you can play for 30 minutes or an hour and get things done, which isn't always possible with some other large titles. Additional activities such as the free built-in Season Pass that unlocks special modern-day story, materials, and equipment for completing game content signal to intended ongoing support for the title, which has already announced an upcoming expansion but has cancelled its DLC Season Pass, so it may not get the DLC treatment that Odyssey and Valhalla enjoyed. Despite this, I've seen a lot of feedback from the community here at Fextra Life regarding Assassin's Creed being expensive. The standard edition is $69.99 USD, which is the norm these days, and I personally don't really see a reason to purchase any extras. That said, if you feel that is too expensive or you just want to play through once and forget about the game, you can buy Ubisoft Plus subscription for $18 USD and cancel, giving you access to the game for a month even at launch. All of this said, I feel like there should be a mention to the game's store that sells both cosmetics and some convenience items that have become rather cheeky. For example, while the game warns you that trophies are disabled in guided mode, you can purchase a map of all activities, many of them trophy related, for 1,000 credits, which is about 10 USD. You can also buy a bunch of fancy mount skins and cute animals to keep as pets for your hideout, as well as stylish clothes for your character. Overall, I wasn't tempted to open or buy from the store or even reminded of it by the game, so I don't think it's intrusive or particularly bad since the content included with the actual game is more than sufficient to keep me entertained. I was annoyed about the activities map, but I find myself not using them anyway. Final thoughts. My Assassin's Creed Shadows experience has both been fantastic and disappointing. The pacing and narrative issues of the dual characters and the immersion-breaking blips you may encounter can mostly be ignored thanks to the fun and engaging combat and the excellently designed stealth and exploration of the world. Hours went by without me noticing as I uncovered more of the map and met more historical figures and got lost in the everlasting allure of medieval Japan. I had long stretches where I was fully immersed, only to be suddenly pulled out of this immersion by clumsy storytelling or events, but then I would go back into being immersed once again. This cycle repeated for much of the game. I had hoped that this would be my favorite Assassin's Creed, but when I sit back and reflect on my experience, I find that the narrative and story brings down the score average, but the core of the experience is somewhat similar to what has been offered in previous titles, and will give players a similar amount of enjoyment. This will mean different things to a lot of different people, as the density and abundance of sometimes thin content is not appealing to all. For me, that meant that despite its story stumbles, the gameplay kept bringing me back, and I'm still playing long after the credits rolled, as I'm working on getting yet another Assassin's Creed Platinum. And
alright, that's gonna be in the backlog.
In this Elden Ring Night Rain video, we're going to be talking about the best weapons for each class.
I guess I should click on the other one.
In this Elden Ring... In this Elden Ring Night Rain review... In this video, I'm going to be talking about Imperial, which is an indie action RPG that launches today for Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. And it's one with adventurous undertones made by the British developer Silent Games and published by Secret Mode. In Imperial, players take on the monolith using different weapon types, with each run altered by cartograms, which control everything you'll experience.
That look cool too. Okay, let me go to this one.
In this Elden Ring Night Rain review, I'll be sharing my gameplay impressions after spending about 100 hours myself and 150 hours as a team collectively at Fextra, defeating all the bosses, unlocking most events, and exploring nearly all the content the game has to offer. So whether you're a hardcore Elden Ring fan wondering how Night Rain stacks up, or a new player curious to know if you can jump in without playing the original Elden Ring, this review is for you. This review will not go into specific story or NPC details, and we will keep it as spoiler-free as possible. We'll mostly show areas already shown in trailers and events, but if you're deathly against spoilers, you can kick back and listen to the audio or read our article on FextraLife.com. Of course, it's impossible not to spoil some basic intrinsic mechanics that have been already widely revealed, so we'll assume everybody knows about these in this review. We'll also need to cover other gameplay elements that are important to the gameplay loop, even if they haven't been revealed yet. Elden Ring Night Rain has an overarching story related to the universe of Elden Ring, but will primarily follow...
I guess I'll go to the gameplay part.
We have lauded Elden Ring as the best overall gameplay experience available on the market, and Night Rain has the difficult task of living up to that level of nuance and delivering a fresh take on the Souls formula. So first, let's talk about the gameplay loop. From Software condensed the elements of Elden Ring's gameplay to create a fast-paced experience that gives you the highlights of RPG elements while focusing on the execution of combat. This means that your gameplay loop feels like a very fast-timed exploration of Limgrave and Elden Ring through expeditions.
Yep, new rules and stuff, changing.
They was able to give me a grant.
That's good.
Followed by some idle time in Roundtable Hold. The core focus of the game is the expeditions, where you set out with 2 other players to conquer Limveldt. To summarize a general run, you'll drop into a random point on the map, clear out some enemies, and level up to level 2. Then you'll spend about 5 minutes clearing out several locations to get loot and passive bonuses before the Night Rain ring closes in and engulfs a portion of the map, just like a Battle Royale game.
Oh, lucky you. They kind of made some changes to that recently, I believe.
You'll do this twice before facing the first boss, get a special bonus after defeating it, and then the night rain will clear and you'll explore the map for one more day. The boss at the end of the second day is generally harder, and afterwards you'll spawn into the final boss room, where you do last-minute upgrades and face the final challenge. If your teammates ever die at any point in the run, you pick them up by shooting them or attacking them, and if you all die, then you lose a level. However, if you all die facing an end-of-day boss, you will lose the run. That's the general loop of every run you will do in the game. Progression in Elden Ring Night Rain is defined only by a few aspects: the aforementioned journal entries and relics you acquire from going out on expeditions. Relics are items you can equip onto your character for special bonuses in your next expedition, which can be quite game-changing, especially with the unique relics you get from unlocking journal entries. At first glance, the refashioned Round Table Hold looks like it has a wealth of content, but it surprisingly doesn't deliver much. Any NPCs or characters in the hold will only say a few lines and provide little in terms of content. As such, the ultimate objective of the endgame becomes simply unlocking outfits with currency you get from finishing expeditions. That being said, the outfits absolutely can be a highlight, as there's some nice fan service with characters from original Souls-like titles making a reappearance. However, they are somewhat mediocre when it comes to nostalgia, given that there are only about 6 per character, which is very limiting considering the multitude of options available for Elden Ring in terms of fashion. Overall, though, the progression can be disappointing for anyone who enjoys character customization with stats and weapon combinations, and there really isn't much in this department besides the basic class differences and relic stat bonuses. If you're a one-class kind of person, it can feel a bit monotonous, and you'll be focusing on simply completing your class's objectives and moving on to the next Night Lord as soon as you can. However, if you're the type of player to try out many different characters and classes, you'll probably feel like there's a good overall tempo. You'll activate an objective or quest in your remembrance, go on an expedition, return to continue the next step, then rinse and repeat for the rest. You can mix things up by spending time in Round Table Hold on the sparring ground to try out different weapons and understanding your character a bit better, or tinkering with your relics and outfits. The loop within Limveld is actually really fun once you become a bit more accustomed to what you're doing. I strongly recommend that new players check out our beginner guide and set the Fextra password for both group and party matchmaking, so that you can find more free loot in the landscape from defeated players, and so that you can pair up with community members who will be a bit more experienced with the game. We'll also be live streaming and playing with the community at launch using the same password to help out those in need. Remember that this password is all capitals. The expedition flow feels extremely fast and rushed at first, and many times your party will be defeated quickly from mistakes that come with not knowing the layout or from running into random events and shifting Earth situations that change the map completely and set up deadly traps and bosses in your path without always a matching reward. As you get used to these and learn the best routes, you really get good and get in the zone and will be able to get to the Night Lord and eventually beat any boss with ease, with the game becoming about making it work with any party combination and gameplay style. If you're playing solo, the game is very challenging but really rewarding, and it's probably where you might end up after you've really mastered multiplayer if you enjoy a serious challenge. There are a total of 8 classes to play, dubbed Nightfarers in Elden Ring Night Rain, each with their own unique abilities and stat scalings. This means you won't really be able to turn the mage class into a tank, as you'll be limited by available weapons and their fixed scalings, and as of the base launch, there are 2 Nightfarers that you'll unlock after playing some time, and it can be fun to acquire them, but I do hope that they continue adding more with updates, which it seems like they will. The list of Nightfarers and their specifics is available on the Night Rain wiki, so I won't repeat them here, but to be brief, you have 3 strength-focused classes, 1 Dex Int caster, an archer, a melee Dex option, a faith character, and finally an intelligence faith mage. They can all use any weapon, but you'll find yourself hunting for the specific best option for your Nightfarer if you want to have really good runs. The difference between each Nightfarer doesn't end there, though, with each possessing 3 unique abilities and starter weapons, which heavily impact gameplay. Mastering your Nightfarer's unique skills and their possible hidden mechanics is very important to being successful as a team player, since you will find a well-timed skill can be the difference between success and a wipe. For example, the Executor Nightfarer is a parry-focused class, but it's not written anywhere that switching between his regular sword and his Suncatcher sword counts as a parry when you switch, which really smooths out his gameplay. We'll have a dedicated classes and ranking video coming at launch, as well as in-depth class guides, so if you want to get ahead, make sure to check out those on our Night Rain playlist. Gathering the right equipment on a run is a key factor that makes the combat in this game work, and Night Rain brings a significant amount of weapons and spells for you to experiment with, alongside some talismans and consumables. There are 244 weapons, 66 bows and crossbows, 37 shields and torches, 19 staves and seals, and 61 talismans in Elden Ring Night Rain. Equipment is random and cannot be changed or infused, and there are no Ashes of War or Spirit Ashes loot, so every run is a bit of an RNG lottery to try and find something that you like and see what build you can make. Weapons have fixed stats and sometimes random skills, and staves and seals have one fixed spell and one random spell attached when they drop. All armaments have random weapon bonuses that don't necessarily match the armament, so you may get guard boosting on your staff, for example. A huge part of Night Rain is the weapon variety that you play with on each run, which can drastically change the way you play. You're going to be sorely disappointed. Now onto the part where Night Rain really shines, the combat, and this should really be the height of the game for everyone, since this is the combat of Elden Ring, but tweaked.
I guess in reality this is the part. Let's see.
Night Rain is not a long game in terms of its main story that can be completed in about 20 hours for an average player, depending on how fast you get into multiplayer matches and the skill of those you play with. Experienced groups can probably tear through the bosses in about 35 minutes a pop, but that's what comes later when you had a decent amount of time with the game. In terms of gameplay, it took me about 36 hours of game time to fully complete all remembrances for Revenant, Recluse, and Wilder, and do all bosses with them. If you plan on doing all characters, you can calculate quite a good amount of content if the costumes and quests are motivation enough to keep repeating the runs. The game's replayability is very high thanks to the class variety and randomization of loot, and with DLC already announced as coming this year, we can expect this to become one of those games you keep coming back to seasonally as you want to check out new outfits, classes, and bosses, given the initial offering is somewhat low. The multiplayer, of course, adds an entire layer of interest to this, as it's a very fun aspect, but your in-game communication is limited to pins with no option for voice or written chat. This can be really frustrating when other players don't quite understand that the party should stick together, or when you have players who prioritize only themselves and their own gear without helping you out as well. Selfishness has always been a problem of this type of game, so it's nothing new, but having no option to communicate this can lead to a poor experience that is coupled with the unavoidable penalty if anyone drops out of the game, even if you all decide to quit. The game warned us about this, and I did it anyway and seemed to have no issues, but this was during the review period where it could take an hour to find a match in Asia zones. Ultimately, we are all affected to some extent or another by From Software's now notorious P2P netcode that makes enemy health jump back up, parries not happen, missed dodges, interrupted connections, random disconnects, and the like. Despite being designed like a live service game, they still don't seem to have actually dedicated servers. Overall, these were not extreme issues though, but it did make for a somewhat frustrating review experience that we hope is not going to carry over to the full launch, as people will be able to play with their regions and not across the world as we had to. Night Rain is sold at a rather reasonable price of $39.99 USD, which is quite a bargain these days. A lot of pressure on the market to find a good compromise between developers and their audience. Night Rain accomplishes this, and the allure of its multiplayer hype should be motivation enough for any fan of the game who wants to jump in right away, particularly when the game is quite well polished with decent performance and minimal bugs. Final thoughts. After the absolute masterpiece of Elden Ring, From Software is in a really tight spot to demonstrate whether it can beat the industry odds and remain the king of fantasy RPGs, or whether it will go the way of previous legendary studios and become another Bethesda or BioWare. With corporate breathing down creative necks to increase profit margins and some overall tendencies of the series that I noted in my Has From Software Peak video, Night Rain's co-op extraction format and announcement looked like a cache-in of recycled assets that could set the path of the studio to downfall. Fortunately, it seems that even if Night Rain is an experiment and maybe a slight cash-in by reusing assets from their now very valuable Elden Ring IP, the developer has managed to create a very engaging gameplay experience that will satisfy fans' desire for more multiplayer while keeping a distilled combat experience that is unequivocally fun. While heavy in recycled assets and somewhat thin on player progression rewards, the truth is that whether you love Elden Ring or not, Night Rain is a good and fun game that showcases the outstanding fun combat of Souls and its addictive multiplayer at its best. If you have friends who have also played Elden Ring to play Night Rain with, I can 100% recommend buying this game on launch.
Alright. I think I got my question answered, but I'll do my research offline. Appreciate anybody being here. Like I said, Neo 3 demo tomorrow again. Should be trying to knock that out. Move to other demos and betas that's upcoming. Be sure to sub, like, all that good stuff. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, and night. Deuces.
Try this game out. This game is called Hell Is Us. This is a new game. It's a new game. Combat is going to reset, balance, merciless. Go merciless. Yeah, we'll go hard. Our game has no map, no markers indicating where people things are, where to go next, or who to talk to. We will never tell you precisely what must be done or how to do it. To thrive in Hell Is Us, pay attention to your environment, listen, and be vigilant. Let's try this game.
You hear me clicking the controller? It's not often. But yeah. Alright, I'm out.